Hungary was different to Czechoslovakia and Bulgaria. Hungary did not like the communists and did not like the Soviet Union. They'd been on Germany's side during the Second World War. Despite this, the Soviets still started by having a fairly lenient approach to Hungary. They allowed free elections, and even though the Red Army was there in the Soviet Union, the communists only won 17% of all of the votes, which isn't very much. And that was allowed to stand. Although the ACC, the Allied Control Commission in Hungary, was Soviet-dominated, and because they used a bit of influence to make sure, even though they didn't win many of the votes, communists still had to be part of the Hungarian government. There was another election, in 1947, where the Hungarians, again, didn't really vote for the communists in their droves. It had been free, democratic, free speech. Newspapers could write what they like, open borders, they could be private business, which was a fairly capitalist thing where people could own their own businesses. And again, that election of 1947, the communists won more, they won 45% of the vote, and this time they'd used dirty tactics because they'd actually had the leader of the opposition party, the most popular opposing party to the communists, they'd had him arrested. But even still, with taking away the leadership of the opposition, they still only won 45% of the vote. And it's, then the Marshall Plan and the Truman Doctrine happened in 1947, and so then pressure started to be exerted on Hungary to join this Eastern Bloc. So that by 1949 and the elections that were held then, well, it had been forced that the only party that could stand was the Communist Party of Hungary, which was called the Independence Front. So then the communists did win the vote because only communists were allowed to stand. So to begin with, quite lenient. They got away with it for 4 years, kind of, but after 47, things changed, Marshall Plan, Truman Doctrine, and Stalin was trying to draw these countries into the Eastern Bloc to be communist and part of the Soviet sphere of influence. There we go, that's Hungary. I'm hungry now, I want my dinner.